Okay, hello guys. It is Empress and we are here after dark. It is 2:39 a.m. where I am, April 22nd, 2022, and I am here with a special reading. Today I am going to be talking about Ermias Asghedom, aka Nipsey Hussle the Great. Um Right now, we are going to get in a reading that I did on the 31st of March of this year. I've done plenty of other readings and, of course, chit chatted with him, been through to the astrals. He's shown me things. But right now, we're going to go with the most recent reading and interview that I did, which was on the 31st, which was the anniversary of his death, his assassination, which was the 31st of March, 2022. So let's go ahead with that. And then we may do a reading on camera, on this live right now. I don't know. I'll see how I'm feeling. Let's get into it though. Alrighty. So when I was channeling and talking to him, the things that were coming in that he was saying was that he didn't really get to reach his full potential, and that there were so many things that he wanted to get done, but he's not going to be pessimistic about it. It's just the truth. It's what it is. He says, basically, he's a little salty. That's the word we'll use. A little salty that he didn't get to, he feels like it's not even that he didn't fulfill his purpose. It's just that there were things that he was planning and it was just like, oh, I didn't get to do it. But it's not like, oh, any regrets. It's just, oh, I didn't get to do that while I was there type of thing. So let's go ahead and get into these other questions that I asked. That was weird. So I asked him, did he attend any of the industry parties in LA and anywhere else? And how does he feel about them? And he said, yes, they were very low in nature. The stuff that I seen really fucked me up and it was hard to hide. Then it got weird. It was like, I wasn't going to let no man poke me. I stood up for what I believed in. I knew the consequences of my actions. They were trying to force my hand. I knew I was going to die. I just needed to get all of my affairs in order. They started messing with my money. I just want my kids and family to be straight. It seems like he did attend those parties, and he attended one in particular where he just said it was some weird shit that went down and he wasn't with it. He just wasn't with the shits. It is what it is. And then I asked him to go deeper into like, what does he mean about, he knew he was going to die. He was just saying like, he surrendered to death. He felt death was near. He knew that by him declining the industry and declining, what they were offering, what they put on the table, that they were going to take him out. So he just was saying like he had to let go of the earthly things. All right, now let's get into how he even got roped into the industry. I believe that, and I'm just paraphrasing because just to give you a little background history on, how he came to me and, I would say it was around either June or July of 2019. So he didn't come to me straight away, when he passed over. It took him a minute because he's the type of person where it's like, I got to trust you. I got to feel you out. And like, we on the same thing. So it's like, cool. So, he came to me, of course, in the astrals, and, we chit chatted and, we became cool. And, he just started to confide in me and started to talk to me and tell me about these things that was going on and what had happened to him. And I'm just like, yeah, I felt that vibe. So yeah, I never listened to his music previously to, his assassination. I didn't really know who he was. So yeah. Um, Now let's get into how he got roped into the industry. First of all, he got roped in by Lauren London. Lauren London networked him in. And not only did Lauren London network him in, it was the whole debacle with Jay-Z and the Jay-Z buying up, I think he bought up like 100 copies of one of his mixtapes. And that was it. Because it's like once he came to him, it was just like you can't turn down Jay-Z, so you're gonna have to get looped into this. Like you can't just say, oh no, like 100 copies. So it was just kind of like they set that up. That was also everything was set up. Okay, I'm gonna get to that though. Yes, he says he got networked in by Lauren London, and then he says watch the Double Up video of his. And also listen to the Mona Lisa song by Lil Wayne. And that will show you all of that. To tell you that whole story play by play of how, she's the Jessica Rabbit. She's the femme fatale. She's going to be the girl to be sent in to, set somebody up. That's basically what that was. That was just a whole PR relationship, a whole contractual relationship. And he just saying like, I was tempted by beauty and luxury. I got my hand cut off for touching the forbidden fruit. And I felt like that was deep because it was just like you were really tempted by something that looked good, but it was actually poison for you. And I'm just lighting this up. Yeah, so that was like, wow, that he, made that connection because like, damn. And then he was saying something like the contract was supposed to be for 3 years, then 7, but he only made it to 6. And I guess he was talking about the whole Lauren London thing, that whole thing. He's saying it wasn't even supposed to be, he didn't want to get her pregnant. He just saying he saw it in the beginning as just like an opportunity to get linked into the industry. Yeah. Let's see here. What else is here? Okay. And then I said, tell me about the day that you were assassinated. He's saying he was by himself, in the start of the day. He didn't really have much work to do. And everything in him was redirecting him from the store, to go other places. He kept getting signs, go somewhere else. But he was just saying he ignored his intuition and he prioritized other people. That's that Leo, caring. I care about people. I want to, see everybody great. And that was, unfortunately, one of his downfalls, trying to, help the hood out and help everybody else out when they looking at you like, oh, you think you big, you think you big shit. You coming around the hood, you flashing this stuff in front of our face. And yeah, people was hating. Anyway, so yeah, he just basically saying like, he didn't know he was going to be set up, but he felt something, but he didn't know exactly what it was. Like he didn't know it was going to be, that it was coming that soon. And I asked who set you up. He said the devil. People I worked with, the industry, the community, quote unquote, backstabbers. They were waiting on me. Somebody was texting me and relaying information. So somebody was texting someone else. There's something about a text message, something about a cell phone. Somebody was texting someone else while they were talking to him and relaying messages back. He says people were acting like they loved me and respected me. And then he's saying, he said, yeah, this is fucked up. Okay. Some of this stuff I don't even want to say, but it is what it is. Got to be said. He said, Lauren, that popped up. Lauren. Okay, he says she's a struggling artist who was jealous of him. She didn't get to live up to her dreams. Okay, and then he says it's a water sign male. And then I said, okay, who? YG question mark. He says he's very shisty, no morals. Either he fought with him or fought for him. And I guess he mean as they were kids or something about kids. He had an argument with them. And then he said it was an air sign male, who is very like militant, who felt disrespected, felt like a fool for even listening to Nipsey's music, felt, like once he declined their offers, the industry shit, the no more parties in LA, type of shit that he was on, he said, yeah, they felt disrespected and they felt like a fool for signing me. And I said, Jay-Z question mark. He said, they feel like I came in and shattered their illusion. I burnt their house down. I came in like a storm. My energy was so powerful and so forceful that it really was about to tear down some shit. And they felt like, I was an amateur. I was just some street dude, some hood nigga. So they really felt disrespected. And then I said, how many major players are involved? And he said, too many. They're like predators. Everybody wants a piece of the fresh meat. They sacrifice me. It's something about the number 12. I said 12 major players, question mark. He says they gave me the opportunity and I spat in their face. They wanted to take it away. Okay. Then I started asking questions about, different people that I feel like are involved, that and I asked him about T.I. And he said, I asked him, what is the nature of his relationship with T.I.? Does he know him? Whoop-de-whoop. He said, nah, he's an outsider. There's no emotional connection. He's just trying to seem like, the perfect dude. We never really, rocked with each other. All right. I asked him about the game. He says he's a dude that wants the spotlight, but really chit-chatting behind your back. He's really reckless at the mouth. His career needs a revival, so he uses me for an ego boost. Can't teach an old dog new tricks. Basically just saying like he's washed up. I asked him, what do you feel about the gang culture and the things that transpired after your assassination in LA? He said, it's okay to not be a part of the gang. There needs to be more unity and balance. People need to start operating more out of love instead of being stubborn and basically trying to kill each other. He says, learn to coexist to make the world a more harmonious place. Stop being so greedy and hyper-focused on earthly things, overindulgence. He said, I had to learn that by having my ego stripped. Okay. What else? Okay. Then I asked, how do you feel about leaving your kids with their mothers? He says, that was the hardest part of it all. I put up a fight because I knew it was going to be chaotic, a battlefield for my kids. It was like mental prison at first for me. I knew that once I left, they were going to be abandoned and it was just going to be reckless caretaking. He says Lauren London just wants to use Cross for clout. It's just another day on the job for her. She's an actress. Well, wannabe. He says she's very mean and her words are reckless. She acts too busy for motherhood. She's just very into her own world. She regrets having children. She feels like it messed up her quote unquote career. Okay. And I asked him about the other one. He says she's a deadbeat. She runs away from her responsibilities. She was never help at all, but she wants to be in charge. Very cutthroat. She wants a piece of the legacy, so she talks as if she wants Imani, which is his daughter. Then I asked him if he has any other kids, other than the ones that, were publicized. He says yes. He's not proud of his past actions for treating women unfairly. He says he paid some women off, or a woman off, offered her things to not come out and speak about it, provided financially, basically. Then I asked if him and Lauren London were married. He says no. I've never asked her to marry me. I was never faithful to her. I made no promises. We had a toxic on and off relationship. No stability. We both were over it, but we didn't leave each other alone. We didn't work well together. We didn't trust each other. Yeah, so why are we all together? Of course, we know it's contractual. It's a PR, we know. Then I asked him if him and Lauren London fought physically. He says yes, with words, fists, and objects. It was a power struggle. We would say the meanest things to each other. We were very cold and distant. And then it was something about like long distance. So then I asked the question, did you live with her? Did you live with Lauren London? He says, no, we didn't physically live together. We were separate. It was really just for show. I said, were you in a romantic relationship with anyone at the time? He says, no, just relations. So basically, I was just having sex with past women. Nothing serious. When I was stressed and needed to get a load off, they were my medicine. They were patient and they kept secrets. It was just for fun. Yeah, you a fucking mess. He says they wanted to tame a lion. I'm a beast at nature. I wasn't ready to commit. It was too many options. I wanted to be free and not tied down. So it wasn't authentic. I said, what about the interviews, blogs, and pictures? He says it was fake for show. I did it for my kids. It's not something that something I wanted to be invested in. I wanted freedom, so I was sneaking around. Then I asked him about how does he feel about the rappers on the charts, and now he says they're weak. They lack originality. They stole most of their flows. I guess I inspired some of these dudes. They're not living by what they speak. They're not practicing what they preach. It's good that they're leaving legacies for their families, but we know the truth and who actually has pen game. I win every time. I'm waiting for some new cats to come in to create a new foundation. More women need to come in with more soulful sounds. Women voices in rap have been suppressed for too long when they're the inspiration for a lot of dudes' music. They don't get the credit they deserve. More women need to come out of hiding and stretch their pen. They have a lot to say and they should be heard. We need more healing music instead of all the pain and violence. That's the type of music that keeps us mentally trapped. You don't elevate lyrically when you limit yourself to one specific sound. You miss out on real opportunities while chasing the same crowd. Quality over quantity. And then I asked him if he would have ventured off into another genre of music. And then he mentioned something about singing. He says, I would have loved to talk about love and more deeper things. As you know, creativity stems from experiences. So I didn't experience that deep romantic love. So I stuck to bullshit. It would have been dope to expand though. He says he's experienced true happiness with his kids and of course family. But as far as like a romantic partner, no, not on the type of level to like write music about like being in love and stuff like that. No. That's sad. Then I have so much more. It's wild. Like, we were just chit-chatting for a little minute. 20 minutes in. What is time? All right. Then, because there was some rumors going around, so I had to ask this. I asked, did you have a threesome with Lil Wayne and Lauren London? And he said, nah, I'm too prideful. Then he was saying stuff about like how he missed out on money opportunities because he had to stick to his morals. He's basically saying, like, after all that stuff went down, like the industry parties, he's saying it happened at the Jay-Z little secret Black Excellence event, you know, when he was wearing the I think it was like a maroon type of suit and he was pictured with them. He's saying that after that occurred, like, he went there and saw what they really be about, and, you know, he knew like that wasn't for him. That's not the type of people he wanted to be around and be associated with. But he knew he was going to miss out on opportunities, but he knew that the type of person he was, he could manifest some other shit. Like, he could get his way up out of that. So then I asked, does he love and trust Lauren London? He says, nah, he saw opportunity. She was looped into LA. I was horny. There was sexual chemistry. I was manipulative. And so was she. Aha, you got me. They were 10 steps ahead of me. I was torn between morals and stardom. I wanted to live comfortably and have everything I want, but I was too focused on others in the process. What I wanted didn't coincide with what I needed. I was reckless, sloppy, and impatient. Hungry. I was addicted. I wasn't thinking straight. Then I said, what did you like about stardom? He says, the luxury. I like the moving around like a boss. I like feeling like a king. I liked having everything. Then the number 5, he had me write down the number 5. For some reason that is significant. He's saying he liked creating his own heaven on earth. He thought it was a divine opportunity to get into connection with Lauren London. And also with Jay-Z coming to him and buying his mixtape. He's saying, like, he put in the work, you know, he's been out. So he thought, you know, it was God and it was actually the devil. He said they were tempting me. He felt he was finally ready after all that time, you know, of going into studios, creating music, putting out mixtapes. He felt like he was a master and he had graduated. He was ready for the next step. You know, because he said, you know, I was street smart and book smart. So he's saying he felt like he could read over contracts and not get fucked over. Then I asked if he trusts Black Sam, which is his brother. He said Black Sam is solid. He's, you know, like my confidant, my best friend. He's loyal and he's proven that with time. Then I asked if he trusts Samantha, which is his sister. He says no, and it's messed up, but she's really doing some foul things. It's sad. She's trying to be me, take my place. It's weird. She needs a reality check. She's hanging around the wrong crowd. And then he said something about like hooking up with Lauren London. I don't know if she may be gay or whatnot. I'm guessing so. Yeah, so he's saying like they're doing some weird stuff together. He's saying she's not loyal at all. She's very sneaky. The industry is a heavy burden for her to carry, but she loves the fame, money, etc. She likes the parties in LA. She loves the dark side of the industry. Then I asked if he trusts his mom. And he's just saying like, this one was kind of weird because it was like he didn't give a direct answer. It's like he's trying to remain respectful. You could feel like there's some kind of like tension or something there, but he just said like she's trying to keep it together. He knows she's hurting inside, but she's not really showing it. He said she's very like intuitive. She's like a high priestess. So she knows who did it, but she's been staying to herself and not interested in talking to people. She's been healing. She's really not into the whole family thing. She's very secluded, doing a lot of internal work, keeping secrets. Then I asked if he trusts his dad, DeWitt or Dwight. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. And he said, you know, in the beginning, he was someone I could depend on. Childhood, he said, we had our qualms. We would butt heads, not see eye to eye. It took a lot of patience and growth to come to understandings. He's saying as of now, though, he's become immersed in the contracts and shady dealings, abandoning his beliefs. It's things that haunt him, but that's on him to deal with as a man. Judgment day will come. He will have to face himself. Then I asked if he trusts YG 400, Mr. 400. He said he trying to get clout off my name, building off my legacy. He's a devil, very shisty, the type to throw stones at you and hide his hands. On the inside, he's spiraling, burning out, but he doesn't show it. He likes the money and fast life, but it's not his divine path. He's not really a boss. He's not really stable. He's very childish. He likes the image and illusions of being a boss, but he doesn't actually harness the energy. He's an imposter. He's just all talk. That's what he says about YG, all talk. Then I said, how does he feel about the marathon brand and what's been going on and how, he says, that was my baby. That's my legacy. It was the pinnacle, the starting point, the starting grounds. Looking at it now, though, I'm not happy with how it turned out. It doesn't have my signature, my creative direction. There was so much I wanted to do with it. I wanted to expand, but now people are fighting and stealing ideas and things that aren't even theirs. They're stealing my intellectual property, basically. Then I asked him, does he want to come back to Earth in the physical form? He says he has emotional ties to Earth, but he know he could never come back. He could never live on this plane, this land. And he described it like a mermaid, like how a mermaid will, come up from the, but it's like you got to go back to where you got to go back to. He says he's expanded to the depths of the universe. He says, I'm able to travel between all realms without the burdens of earthly matters. I'm genuinely happy. Of course, I miss my kids and family. But to be absent from the body is to be present with the soul. I've ascended and I have things to do. I'm free. Then he got very emotional. Teary-eyed. And he's just saying it was part of his purpose to come here and do what he did. He says he left his mark. He's a star. He shines bright everywhere. Then I asked him if he could do it all over. If given the chance, would he not go into the industry knowing what he knows now? And he says he doesn't live life with regrets. He doesn't look back, only forward. Everything is okay. He's earned his wings. He's earned his stripes. He says the marathon continues. Period. Okay, so that was the interview, that I did with Ermias Nipsey Hussle on March 31st. So let's pull some cards on this stream right now to just get some updates, see if there's anything else that he wants to add or we want to pull from there. And yeah, I'm going to be using the Afro Goddess Oracle. Ooh, and let's see. But yeah, basically, upon talking to him just over these couple of years, it's just really like it's just like about spreading awareness of the facts of the industry, of like the shady shit that goes there. He doesn't have any regrets. He doesn't desire to come back to earth. He's actually pretty happy. Like, he's found peace. He just wants there to be light shed on the darkness of that whole industry, because it's like they just didn't get him. It's not just him. It's a lot of artists that get sacrificed because they don't want to partake in the agendas of that whole industry. So yeah, but as far as stuff like that, it's just like, man, when you die, you really truly see like who truly messes with you. It's like as time goes by, people forget you. They're not speaking about you, especially not in the kind way that they were when you were alive, or when you first passed. People go on and move on in life, and they ain't talking about you. They not celebrating your birthday, your anniversary, your death date, and stuff like that. Okay, come on, let's get to it. So yeah, he just saying he sees people's true colors. Oh, we got the whip, number 11. Okay, let's get another one. The whip. What I'm picking up from this is just like, oh, we got the dog, number 18. Let's get one more. The Ankh, number 37, and the bear, number 15, at the bottom of the deck. Okay. What I'm getting from this is he's just saying, like, the guard dogs was sicked on him. They wanted to whip him into shape. Like, they wanted him to become a slave to this industry shit, okay? Lauren London was his handler, and I'm gonna have to make a separate post on what handlers are. But if you want to get a gist of what a handler is, watch what is that movie called? I think it's called American Ultra. I don't know. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's exactly, he's just saying like she was sent in to control him, to get him roped in there. But, he wasn't going for it. She was his she was his connection to that. And she knew what they were going to do to him, because it's stuff that she partakes in. She partakes in those parties. You're a struggling artist. You need to get some gigs. So you're going to, do some strange for a piece of change, baby. It is what it is. That's what they do. And he said he just wasn't with that. Yeah, he's just the type of person that's very prideful anyway. So it's just like, nah, you disrespected me. I'm not with it. So he's saying essentially he had to really stick to what he believed in and what he resonated with on a soul level. And essentially that ended up with him, ascending to a different plane. He said, fuck, they ran me up out of there. But he said, yeah, I wasn't willing to be a slave to the system and do those weird things that they were doing. He says, I'm very independent. Like, I'm not with the cult shit. He said they were on some cult shit. They wanted to partake in these cultish orgies and, just weird stuff that he's just like, nah. He said they want you to worship the ground that they won't walk on, like they're gods. He says, I'm a god in my own right. Like, why would I worship and bow down to y'all? Yeah, he said like they wanted me to kiss their fucking feet. I wasn't with it. All right. Facts. All right. Hold on. All right. Let's get some more cards out here. All right. Let's clarify this whip. See if something else to come up off of here. Yeah, he says though, like it was a lot of them involved that got cuts and stuff from his assassination. He says they all get cut-ins. It's like one big Ponzi scheme. They like to feast on independent artists. Let's clarify the whip. We got number 45. The Jack of Clubs. Yeah, he's saying like, man. He's saying like they were looking at him like, okay. He's saying, yeah, they were watching me for a minute, like scouting me out, looking at my lifestyle, how I grew up. That's how they get you. She said they were watching me way before I even got into the industry, got, roped into that whole scene. They wanted me because they thought I was going to promote violence and promote this image of, spreading a message to the youth that, gang banging is cool and gang culture. He says that's not what I was doing. I was talking about my experiences. Music is art. I was talking about my experiences because that's what real niggas do. I was talking about my experiences. And I went through that stuff. He said I was never telling other people to, sip lean, pop pills, smoke, none of that. Yeah, so it was like, yeah, they was watching, like really like some reptilians on a wall, like blending in, trying to make it seem like, oh, we just discovered you. We just saw you, on YouTube, or somebody told us about you, and we want to get you in. We want to get you a deal. He said, nah, they some snakes. They was snakes in the grass, like really, really spying on me, like really watching me come up. Like he said, they was watching me since I was a young boy. Like, he said they made all these promises of what they could give me, but it really wasn't nothing. He said it wasn't nothing that I couldn't get on my own. It was really crumbs, and he said it was insulting that they wanted me to beat myself wanted to beat me like a slave. They wanted to beat me down. They wanted me to do certain things. They wanted me to work for pennies, basically. He's saying they wanted me to do things where it's like you're not even you're not giving me anything. I'm doing all the work and y'all want all these big cuts and percentages. Y'all not doing anything. All right, let's clarify this dog. We got number 2, the 5 of Hearts. Yeah, so he's saying like it's something about some exposure of some secrets here playing out. Let me get some more clarity on this. But he's basically saying, like, yeah, they do some dark things there at them parties, and just, you know, those little meetings and stuff that they have. And oh, okay. Yeah, they promised him these nice things. They promised him more fame, more fortune. They said they would set his family up if he didn't expose the secrets of the industry, if he didn't expose what went behind it. If he pledged his loyalty to the Legion, to the cult, okay? He said, we will plaster you on the blogs. We will play your music. You will get streams. You will have all these nice things, but you cannot expose what goes down here. He's saying, though, like, when he saw what was going on, though, like, when he really saw it with his physical, he just was like, nah, he was turned off. He says his body language showed it all. You could see it on his face that he was disgusted. He couldn't hide it. He couldn't even act, play at that point. Let's clarify this. Number 47, the King of Spades. Bride. So yeah, he's saying, like, I stuck to my morals. It is what it is. He said, even if I felt like I had to fight off all these people by myself, he said I was going to stand up for myself, stand up for what I believe in. He said, if you don't stand for something, you're going to fall for anything. I wasn't falling for those industry games. He said, I ain't like these other rap niggas. And I don't even like using that word, but this is how he talks. Like, so I can't listen. It is what it is. He said, I ain't nothing like them rap niggas. Okay. He said, yeah, they was just promising me all this nice stuff, all these things. He said it was weird. Like, he said, I was not with it. Like, I listen. He said, I knew I had to escape. I just didn't know how I was going to do it. 47. Alrighty. Got number 16. The 9 of Hearts. The Ship. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Like I said, he was saying he knew he had to get away. He had to find a way to get away. They were promising all these things, this royalty, and he's saying, I'm already royal. I'm already, he was saying, like, I didn't need to do it that way to get where I needed to go. I don't need to do what these rap niggas do to get where I need to go. I didn't need to do no funny shit like that. Like, I could get it on my own. I could get what I want by just, putting in that work, by just being me. I'm already royalty. Look at me. So he says, yeah, like, he says, I know how to get it out the mud. I know how to make money. So that wasn't even what it was for me. So it was like, yeah, that was just like a slap in the face to have them come to me saying, do X, Y, and Z, have sex with this man, do this to get more, to get like Jay-Z, to get like P. Diddy, do this. And he's like, nah, I ain't with it. And he said, like, it's messed up because it's like people in the industry that at first you look at from on the outside looking in, and it's like, wow, what this man is doing is remarkable. Like, he's a boss. And he said he really get around him. He's like, man, nah, you ain't on no boss. You being owned. You a slave. He said they wasn't really living how they say they are. They don't really have what they really have. They don't own it. It's about ownership, baby. He says they don't own the rights to their masters. They don't own these cars and these houses and this jewelry that they put out on Instagram and, portray in the media. He said they don't have it. It's all rented. All right. Let's see here. I'm gonna pull some more stuff, and I'm about to hit the hay. We can always come back if there's new information. Listen, I'm with it if you with it. Alrighty, let's see here. We're gonna get a few more cards and see if we get some more channeling, some more downloads while we shuffling, and then we're gonna be up out of here. He's also saying, like, yeah, a lot of people that y'all look up to, that y'all think. He said, man, they all be screwing each other. Yeah, they be swapping DNA. He says one big, he says, like, it's weird because it kind of it's kind of like incestual, because like they all together with these couples, but they all mess with each other. So it's like they all didn't have, yes, it's weird. Okay, let's get some. We already knew that though. No more parties in LA, guys. Y'all need to, not the devil. First thing came out, temptation. Yeah, he's saying like they wanted me to be binded to them. They wanted to have dominion, ownership, control over me. He said, for some reason, he said, I know. He said, I know. He said, I know the type of energy I possess to where it makes people obsessed. He said they all were obsessed with him, from the men to the women. They were obsessed. They wanted to tear his foundation that he built for himself down and kind of rebrand his image and turn him into like, yeah, he said they were trying to turn me into something I'm not. And he said, I'm stubborn. I'm too prideful for what they were trying to get up out of me. Yeah, it's like he said he was at a crossroads, because he was like, he knew that they was going to take him out. He knew that. He felt it. He already knew by his body language, by him politely declining. Because he said, I wasn't, I just politely declined and said, that's not me. I ain't with all that. And he was just saying, like, yeah, he knew then he had to start making moves to get 10 steps ahead of them. He's saying he knew he had to start putting his affairs in order. Yeah, he said like they're just trying to taint his image. They wanted him to put out certain messages that he knows would trigger the people that listen to his music to, of course, imitate what he's doing. He says, I knew the power that I possessed, and that's not what I was trying to do. He says, I'm always trying to just advocate for more unity. He said, I had a meeting with LAPD before, they off me. He said, I wasn't with all that, He says, yes, I come from a gang. I was affiliated with a gang, he says, but I wasn't still tied to that. I was a businessman. I was an artist. Um, he says, yeah, it was a lot of stunts that he had to do, though. Like, as far as, PR stunts, relationship, contractual stuff, where he, him and Lauren London weren't really together, and they were taking pictures saying they were together, and she, were saying they were married. He said, nah, that was all publicity stunts. It was just industry shit that he did partake in that aspect of it. He said it was childish, petty games, and it was something that kept me trapped and held back. He said, I trapped myself in it once I got entangled with those people. He said once he really got entangled with Lauren London, that's when it was, because that's how he got looped in. He said that was the start of his downfall, his demise. Really, there's really nothing else to really even clarify, because the proof is in the pudding. Like I said, I've been communicating with Ermias, aka Nipsey Hussle, since around June or July of 2019. And yeah, everything that we've been discussing and that, I've done readings on, it's been coming to pass. And I wasn't going to put this out here, but I did it just off the strength of, this is something that keeps nagging at me, that is just like, you need to get this out. And also it's just somewhere it's just like, hey, the truth needs to be heard, needs to be spoken. So it is what it is. Yeah, as far as his death though, that was, let's get into that. Let's get some cards on that. We don't need to get cards. I could tell you what it is without the cards. First of all, that was just some stuff set up. Of course, they're going to make it seem like, oh, he was in a gang. He was affiliated with a gang. So, of course, some dude that he, I don't really know what they're saying. I guess some said about a rat or something. Somebody snitched, or I don't know what it was. But it was just like, yeah, he's just saying like, nah, that wasn't what it was. That dude was used as a pawn. But he's saying, no, this was definitely some industry shit. They wanted my intellectual property. They wanted the real estate. They wanted the property that, he had the marathon store. They want that whole, property. There may be something there. And that's why they needed something underneath there, like something. They need that building. And he had it. They also needed to take him out because he saw what goes down in those industry parties and he wasn't with it. So they knew there was just a matter of time before he either came out or, they just wasn't with it. They didn't want to take that risk of having him out there. And also he was rap niggas. Go listen to that song. He was calling people out. Like, yeah. So it was like, yeah. He knew, and he just said, I just need to get my affairs in order for my kids. 3:33 on the clock. It's 3:33 a.m. and I'm up. It is what it is. Witching hours. It's like, nah. Yeah, so that was a whole setup. Honestly. And to be honest, yeah, that might be for another video for me to break that down. But yeah. That was a setup. That was some industry shit. That man was used as a pawn. I don't even believe that man was the man who even... Listen. It gets deep. Because that was some military weaponry. Y'all gotta understand, like, when these assassinations, especially, like, let's just look at, the industry. And I'm talking about the music industry. With these rappers, these certain artists that get shot by, somebody that they allegedly had beef with or was trying to rob them. It's like they all have military weapons. Where are they getting these? Like, come on now. Y'all gotta listen. Read between the lines. Everything ain't what it seems. Everything ain't just surface level 3D shit. Like, yes, he may have been affiliated with a gang, but he was tied into different stuff. Like, yeah, he may have still talked to people, but it's like, nah, he was on a different level. He wouldn't, yeah, that was a whole cover up. We're gonna make it seem like he died the way he lived. He died by what he lived by, and it's like, nah, but nice little try to cover it up. Nice little show y'all put on there, but no. What else? Really that's it. I'm really about to get up off of here. And I may come back to update. I may not. Who knows? But this will probably be going on Patreon. I don't know just yet. But yes. Peace. Bye.